350 points. The NASDAQ was down 122. Those worries about Greece sent oil prices sharply lower, closing near $58 a barrel, and it sent bond prices higher. In other news, pending home sales in May rose to their highest level in 9 years. Food service giant Cisco calling off its proposed $3.5 billion buyout of rival U.S. Foods. That's because regulators came out against the deal. And CNBC Radio's parent company, NBC, telling Donald Trump today, "You're fired." That's over derogatory statements he made about Mexican immigrants. It'll no longer air the Miss USA and Miss University pageants that Trump co-owns.
Have you had trouble with online dating? This is eHarmony founder Dr. Neil Clark Warren. We've created a new solution, EH Plus. EH Plus combines the personal attention of a matchmaker with eHarmony's extensive pool of great singles. EH Plus gives you hand-selected matches and freedom from being online. Get started today. Call 855-930-LOVE. That's 855-930-LOVE.
You make the decision to buy the home, then you're faced with what's next. What do we do?
We started at Realtor.com.
Realtor.com gave us a lot more current information.
Listings are pulled directly from the MLS every 15 minutes.
Once you've gone through all of that, the realtor makes it happen.
We worked with the realtor that really knew the area.
And he knew the market.
When you have someone who has the expertise, it makes it so much easier.
Realtor.com and Realtors. Together, we make home happen. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Kcaa Radio, AM 1050, gives you all the information you need to know and maybe just a little bit more.
Inland Empire weather, sunny, hot, muggy, 99 degrees the expected high. Right now we are at 95 here in San Bernardino. Looking at your drive, got a lot of issues out there. The off-ramp is blocked on the 60 eastbound at the 215-91 interchange. And in Moreno Valley, we do have some good news. An accident has cleared on the 215 northbound at East Ridge and Eucalyptus. There were lanes blocked in that area, and it had traffic stopped from Cactus Avenue. There is still a bit of slowness in that area, so beware of that. Other than that, stop and go on the 91 westbound between Mission Inn and University Ave. And that is the very latest with news and weather and traffic on the station that leaves no listener behind. KCAA 1050 AM.
It's time for the KCAA Community Calendar, brought to you exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools. The clear mission of Learn for Life is to motivate and mentor students who have dropped out of school and provide them with the personalized education and technical training necessary to advance their lives.
Here's a look at the community calendar. I'm Successful Brim. The Edward Dean Museum is happy to announce another new Sherlock Holmes-inspired mystery dinner theater performed by the Actors Forum. Sherlock Holmes and his recently empowered landlady, Mrs. Hudson, are called to a foreboding country estate to investigate a violent murder. The suspects include 2 women, a young boy, and a ghost. Tickets are $50 and includes appetizers, dinner, dessert, and of course the thrilling performance of the loosely based Turn of the Screw by Henry James. Reservations must be made as there is limited seating per performance. There will be 2 performances, Saturday, July 18th and Friday, July 24th. The time is 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Please contact the Edward Dean Museum to reserve your space today, 951-845-2626, or visit edwarddeanmuseum.org. Again, 951-845-2626, or visit edwarddeanmuseum.org. And that's a look at the community calendar on KCAA 1050 AM.
The KCAA Community Calendar is presented exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools where students can complete their education on a part-time basis. To find a resource center nearest you, call 1-877-360-LEARN or visit Learn for Life online at learn4life.org. Yesterday was a big day in New York City, and there to cover it all was the Poor Man. And now, live, from his pad in Soho. It's the Poor Man.
If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion...
Yes, yesterday was a celebration of gay pride, actually not just in New York, but all over the U.S. By the way, hello, everybody. Believe it or not, I'm doing a live show. It's not a rerun.
All right.
A rare day where I'm actually in the studio. You know, all last week, had to be in a few movies, had to be in a few TV shows, had to make a living. So anyway... But believe it or not, I do feel a lot of people do not hear every single show. I know I got slag from one of the blogs, but I'm sure Huntington Henry was fine because no matter if I'm on or not, the Surf Report always goes on, the Surf City USA Beach Report. Henry, it's amazing because not only are you doing it on KCAA, but you're recording it on your YouTube channel. Go ahead and plug that before we get into today's report.
It's a Henry Surf Showcase there on YouTube, and I think we're making a first here for KCA Radio and the Poor Man Show with a live video to go with the Surf Report.
Right, exactly. Now, where are you today, Hen?
I'm right now on the steps of Huntington Beach Pier. I have John Lyman with me, a local hero photographer in Huntington Beach. Say hi to Poor Man, John.
Hi, Poor Man. I'm a big fan.
Hey, thanks, John. What did you do? A lot of like water shooting with surfing, or were you? What type of photography?
I've always been involved in surfing photography, and yeah, I do a lot of water shots.
What's your most famous one? Have you made the cover of Surfer magazine ever, or surfing?
I started doing surf photography back in 1968. My first cover on Surfer magazine was in 1970.
Wow. You know what? We got to... Di forgets that we can hear her talking on the phone in the background, you guys. Hold on a minute. Hey!
My bad. Sorry.
That's all right. It's not so much with me. Linda Gross is ready to kill you. That's all. Not you, but whoever is on with you. So what was your most famous picture you ever took, John?
Oh, I don't know. I couldn't really say. The first cover of Surfer magazine I got is probably my favorite.
The very first magazine that Surfer ever put out, you did the cover?
No. My first photo on the cover of Surfer magazine about 1970 was September 1970.
And who did you have on the cover?
It was actually a cover of a seagull is flying into the sun.
Wow.
Did you get his name?
Yeah. How many covers have you done on Surfer magazine through the years? How many different?
I've had 2 covers on Surfer magazine and a lot of covers on other surfing magazines that have come and gone.
Man, Huntington Hen, you are with a real hardcore dude in HB, as always.
I just want to say he is our local surfer hero photographer. He takes photos. He's kind of like an underground guy. He's not really going for the big mag picture. He can make Huntington crummy on a 2-foot wave look like it's 10-foot Hawaiian. He's down here usually almost every morning from 6:30 a.m. till maybe 11 a.m. And if you're on one of the bigger cell waves, he's going to get you. He got me on a wave last January. I don't surf Huntington in the morning, basically because he's on the pier taking photos. I go down to Newport because, I don't want to embarrass myself sometimes. But he'll get you.
Yeah, what's his website? And then we'll get on with your report here.
My website is johnlymanphotos.com. I'm also on Facebook. You can just type in John Lyman Photos and get all my photos up on Facebook. It's pretty interesting.
Fantastic. Well, it's an honor to have you on the show. Go ahead, Hen. What's going on? I know it's like 90-something inland, but what's the weather like at HB today?
We're hitting almost 80 degrees down on the beach. The high clouds are starting to thicken up a little bit in the afternoon here. The wind is slight on shore. I would say, what do you think, John, about 79 degrees, maybe upper 70s, maybe?
Yeah, it's about 79, 80 degrees, and it's pretty humid here right now.
But it is a beautiful day at the beach, and the surf is surprisingly not too bad at 2 to 4 feet, semi-consistent. The water temperature's cooled down a little bit, anywhere from like 62 to about 67 degrees. So up there at Zuma and Malibu, you're getting 2 to 3 feet. South Bay, you're getting 1 to 3. Here at the beach, all the way down Newport, Salt Creek, Trussell, and even Oceanside 2 to 4 feet. It should be tapering down a little bit tomorrow, so not good there. The tides are basically high in the morning, about a 3.5, low in the afternoon around 1.9, and then it comes up to about a 6-foot high tide around our sunset 8:06 p.m. So that looks like it's a wrap here from Huntington Beach, California. Back to you, Poorman, in the New York City studio.
Right. It's only 75 degrees today in New York. It should be a lot hotter. It's perfect here, but there's no waves. The Hudson River isn't looking too good. All right. Thanks a lot, Huntington Hen. All right. So, Di, is Jesse with us? Should we take a break and be back with him? Or have we
why
got
don't we
him
do
calling
that?
in yet?
Yeah, he hasn't called in yet.
Okay. So we're waiting to hear. Jesse James is going to be my guest today. Of course, the legendary chopper dude. He's had, Discovery Channel shows. Let's see. He's also been on Spike TV, ex-husband of Sandra Bullock. And I guess also a fan of mine when he was growing up. He actually listened to me on the radio. That's how this whole thing happened. So he's supposed to call in any minute now. He said they're doing a background check on him with the FBI. He's from Southern California, living now currently in Austin, Texas. Nothing is off limits with the guy. The guy is now selling guns. He's designing choppers. And he's got opinions on everything. And he makes me look like I'm a conformist. So he'll be coming on next. Also, Di, you've heard about Donald Trump, right?
Running for president? Is there something more to him than running for president?
Yes, he's been kicked off NBC within the last couple of hours and off Univision there, which is part of NBC, for saying that the Mexicans that we let into the country are rapists, murderers, and criminals for the most part.
Yes, I did hear that. Oh my gosh, yeah.
But he's no longer doing Celebrity Apprentice. He's been kicked off every show, the Miss Universe pageants, and he said he wanted to be off there anyway. That he didn't want to be doing them. So I am officially throwing my hat in the ring to be the new host of Celebrity Apprentice. And I personally love all Mexicans that come across the border. All right, so I've had many a cleaning lady that did not have a green card. So there you go.
All right, are we breaking now?
Well, I want you to react to that. Have you ever employed somebody that did not have a green card?
I have never employed anybody, period.
You never had a cleaning lady?
No.
You didn't? What did you do, clean yourself?
Of course I clean.
I'm a slob.
Well, you probably need one then. I'm probably pickier than any cleaning lady that I could actually have. So
yes,
yeah, I'm too picky.
All right. Well, what do you think of the Donald making those statements? Does it even bother you at all, or do you even care?
He's just known for saying what he thinks, and if that's what he thinks, I mean, he doesn't really have statistics to back it up, or at least he didn't at the time. So, I can't blame him for firing him.
But here's the funny thing. In a small way, I had a similar thing happen today. Like I'm trying to get a new agent, and for my other stuff I'm doing, and this one agent was going to sign me, but then he said that he thought because of I'm too controversial to be signed. And so I thought, oh man, it's got to be the Dr. Drew article or something like that. And anyway, to make a long story short, you know why he won't sign me?
Why?
Because I do the show Poor Man's Bikini Beach.
Oh, really?
And he got a Facebook message. This guy's kind of a mini politician, and those of you who've listened to me through the years, you know who I'm talking about probably, and I shouldn't even bring it up, but I think it's ridiculous. And they said, and they mentioned something about his political career, and then they said afterwards, and also the fact you represented that guy Poor Man, who did that horrible Poor Man's Bikini Beach show, that's awful. And so that's why he wouldn't sign me. And I said, well, excuse me. In Africa, Sony is actually syndicating our show and licensing it. So the Sony Corporation is doing it. And
wow.
Caesar is saying in a text, my green card expired at one point. So we still don't have Jesse James.
No, we do.
Yet,
we do
right?
have Jesse. He's on the line right now.
Oh, he is? Okay, let's take a quick break and we'll be back with Jesse James, the immortal, legendary Jesse James, joining the Poor Man. Can't wait to talk to him right after this. Hi, how are you? I'm just doing a radio show. You want to know? Okay.
As heard on Little Steven's Underground Garage, it's the straight-ahead rock of LA's own, the 4019. Rock and roll like it was meant to be played. Get the music at the4019s.com. Spell it, the4019s.com. See them live Friday, July 24th, along with Berlin at Monte d'Oro Winery in Temecula. Go to the4019s.com and have yourself one hell of a good time.
Have a good time.
Tired of spending too much money on an ad and then trying to find your ad in the newspaper, buried among hundreds, even thousands of other ads? Isn't it time you got a great deal when you were trying to sell that car, that dining room set, that refrigerator, or offering your handyman services? Now you can in the Nickel Shopper. For as little as $7.50 per week, your ad can be seen by thousands of eyeballs in the high desert, and they're getting the Nickel Shopper for free. Call today to place your ad in the Nickel Shopper, 760-646-3654, or go to thenickelshopper.com for all the details, 760-646-3654. The Nickel Shopper, coming soon to the IE. Have you ever wanted to bring the beauty of the ocean right into your home or office? Or already have an aquarium and just no time to clean it? Let Scuba Steve's Fish take care of that for you, specializing in new aquarium setups and maintenance. That's ScubaStevesFish.net, 714-600-2739. Check out the website at ScubaStevesFish.net. That's ScubaStevesFish.net. Get it? Fish.net? Serving Orange County and parts of the Inland Empire. There's nothing worse than a dirty aquarium. ScubaStevesFish.net. This may come as a surprise, but Beatlesarama is in its 15th year of keeping the Beatles alive for a new generation. If you spent any time in the 60s, or if you're smart enough to know it was the coolest era for music, you're going to love us. Just go to Beatlesarama.com and the player should start right up. We're also available on TuneIn, iTunes, Windows Media, and more. Once you tune in, you'll be hooked. Plus, you can join our Facebook fan club and follow us on Twitter. Be sure to bookmark it. Beatlesarama.com.
Hello.
How are you? Hello. You're... What? They won't give you frozen yogurt?
He got his radio show.
You're on the radio, Giggle.
Now, what is it?
They're so mean. They're so mean.
No, what are you talking
Giggle's on the radio.
Yeah.
No frozen yogurt. They're mean. Bye. He wants frozen yogurt.
And especially, but like you, are you a bumblebee? You've got like little wings.
We're butterflies/fairies.
So that's what?
Fairies.
Fairies, I see. And are you gay yourself?
No, not currently.
You're heterosexual.
So far.
Right, and so, but you're here to support, right?
Yes.
And what about you?
I'm bisexual.
Oh, okay. And what does that mean? More men or women?
Right now, I mean,
Playing the fields.
yeah, I'm enjoying my life.
Our friends are calling us.
Men tend to be a little
Enjoy
more
your radio,
open.
Solskjaer.
Okay, maybe we were just getting into it.
We enjoy ourselves.
The last encounter, male or female?
Both.
At the same time?
Yeah, why not?
There you go. Okay, good deal. What a lead into Jesse James. Yesterday I was at the New York Gay Pride Parade getting some sound. Are you there, Jesse?
Yeah, I'm here.
It's always fun to interview people at a Gay Pride Parade. It's very colorful.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, it's an honor to have you on the show, my friend. First of all, I was amazed because I tweeted about the world record for most surfers on a surfboard in Huntington Beach about a week and a half ago, actually a week ago Saturday, about 66 surfers. You favorited my tweet, and I didn't even know you, and then you decided to follow me on Twitter. And I'm going, my God, I can't believe Jesse James would even acknowledge the poor man. And then you said you'd be on my show. We start talking today, and you got to tell the story about how you know me. I mean, it just blew me away.
Well, I think, growing up, I was born in Linwood and grew up in, Southgate, North Long Beach. So, I like K-Rock and KNAC and, all those, the Surf Report and all. You on the radio there, it's a big part of my life growing up, just hearing your voice, I don't, triggers all these memories when I was a kid, and it's just good stuff. So I figured, what the hell, man?
I'm so. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sure we know like a million of the same people and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, and what's interesting too is that you were telling me about when you were growing up in Southern California. I mean, first of all, I'm just amazed you listen to me. Finally, something in my past that's beneficial in getting you on my show. But but tell us about what you did security, and explain who you did that for. For those people who are historians of the music scene in Southern California, this is pretty cool.
Well, I moved out to Riverside or out to La Sierra when I was like in 8th or 9th grade, and then went to junior high and high school, or part of junior high and high school, kind of bounced back and forth between Long Beach and Riverside. My dad was out. My dad kind of had a shady business, so I think he moved from like Long Beach, Compton to Riverside because it seemed like, it was like going out to the woods. So you could do whatever you want out there. Mostly.
What was his shady business?
I think he was like a freelance pharmacist.
You mean like cocaine and that kind of pharmaceutical?
I think so.
Wonder if Dr. Drew bought from him.
I don't know. He was probably older than Dr. Drew. This was like 60s, 70s.
Wow.
And it's pretty funny. Like his business partner all through the late 60s and 70s and early 80s was Barry from Storage Wars. And he's like my godfather. So it's like, had a pretty, I was, a kid, Southern California kid, but like, if you look back on it, it seems like pretty crazy upbringing. So, but yeah, so I was a big kid in high school. And so I started doing, security. I started working, a friend of mine named Greg Link got me a job working for Gary Tovar from Golden Voice.
Yeah, Gary was the promoter of all the punk concerts.
Yeah, and so like I just started off protecting so punkers didn't rob the T-shirt booth, and then pretty soon I was doing, security at the shows. Like I did in Riverside, I did like the Deanza Theater shows, which were some of the craziest like punk shows because it was like the only place to see shows. Like the first time Slayer played in Riverside, we did the Deanza Theater, and it's a 900 seat capacity. And I remember I tickered the door for Gary with a little clicker, and it was 2,200 people inside the theater.
Wow! And you did the Olympic too. That was a pretty crazy place.
Some riots and stuff at the Olympic, like NBC riot, Public Image, and stuff like that. And my cousin worked at Zed Records, so I had like the inside track to every cool show, but I was kind of stuck in Riverside. So, instead of being back in Long Beach where I could ride my bicycle to all these shows and see cool stuff, then I was stuck in Riverside. So I played football and was pretty disciplined as far as that. But other than that, man, I got a lot of trouble out there. So.
And we're talking to Jesse James, of course. He is the guy from Spike TV. Jesse James is a dead man. That was your show there, Monster Garage on the Discovery Channel. And Di, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
And most recently famous for being the husband of Sandra Bullock and
the most beautiful woman of 2015, right?
What did you think about that, Jesse? She was voted to the cover of People magazine, your ex-wife.
I don't care, man. That whole situation, it's like the old saying goes, no matter how good looking she is, there's someone somewhere that's tired of her.
Yeah.
So you got tired of having sex with Sandra Bullock, huh?
No, I don't know, dude. She's just my ex, and I don't really think about her. Never crossed my mind. So, life's good now, and my life with her wasn't that great. So, I'm just thankful for what I have. So,
just really quickly, and I don't want to dwell on Sandra Bullock, but how did somebody like you ever meet her?
She came to my shop. So,
does she ride? Did she ride? Did she ride then?
No.
No? So what did she come in your shop for?
Probably just to meet me.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow. So she was just all over your stuff.
I guess so. All right. You have to talk. That was like 7 or 8 years ago, or 10 years ago now. So let's talk about something else.
Right,
All
absolutely.
right, so I have something
I
else.
can only imagine
unless,
you get
unless you guys want to talk about your exes, let's do that.
I'll tell you what's happened with me, Jesse. You won't even believe this, and I've talked about this on the air. I have not had sex in 12 years.
I don't even know what to think about that. You should go on Dr. Drew.
Touche, my friend. Touche. Well, okay, let's get into what you're doing now with. I mean, this is pretty controversial. You're actually selling guns. You're actually your shows were out of Long Beach, but now you've moved to Austin, Texas, and you're in the gun selling business, right?
Yeah. So I still build motorcycles, and we still have a car shop and build custom cars. But the projects we do with those take years to complete. And, it's a much smaller scale and much more expensive, but more detailed. So, I just started building. I built a gun. I built a custom 1911 when I first moved here, like 3 or 4 years ago, or I bought it like 5 years ago and finished it a couple years ago. And some prince from Kuwait tried to buy it for $25,000. He saw it on the internet, and I'm like, oh, I'm in the gun business now.
Wow.
Have you always been into guns?
Yeah, but I've been from California, so it's kind of stifled. You can't own anything cool there, and the laws are pretty strict, and you can't really shoot them anywhere. Riverside was cool because we could go to like Lido Creek or Cleveland National Forest and stuff before it got so populated and shoot. But here, I have like the 300-yard range at my house, so. I can just walk right outside and shoot all day, every day, which is pretty awesome. But my skill set of doing metalwork and engineering and machining and all this stuff, it's it feels like the gun business is where I belong because I can, bikes are kind of screwing around. It's not really serious. It's not, bikes isn't like a life or death decision. But taking my skill set and making stuff that, like, hey, it can save soldiers' lives and can make them better armed and protect police officers better and make quieter weapons for a different kind of warfare and stuff like that. So it's like almost like what I do on like a higher level. It's like it's got some meaning to it. Like I could build a bike and everybody, ooh, that thing's bitching, wow, nice work, but it doesn't go beyond that.
We're talking to Jesse James, and he said you're at your shop in Austin right now while you're talking to us?
Yep, I'm sitting at my workbench right now.
Jesse, and I noticed he had on Twitter a gun with a holster of a Confederate flag, and given the situation in South Carolina, I mean, it's a whole different vibe in the South, as you explained to me, but do you get a lot of crap for making that holster, given the fact that church got shot up?
Well, my friend from Jeremiah from Savoy Leather made it, and I think he got a bunch of. It was on Jon Stewart,
Oh, was it?
Kind of talking smack about it, and it's like, I'm kind of Reagan era, where people are supposed to be responsible for their actions. Nobody's looking at this messed up kid. Everybody's looking and like, oh, if we ban everything, then that kid wouldn't have did it. Like, there's a reason why, people should be armed. There's a reason why a kid like that didn't go into a police station and do what he did. You know why? Because he would have got shot. To go and attack a bunch of unarmed people, it's a pretty cowardice thing to do, and you have to be a nut. You can look right in the picture of that kid's face and think, tell him, like, he's got a screw loose. That should be what we should be, like, pouring resources in, not penalizing law-abiding citizens. Go after the real root of the problem.
So what's your thought on the Confederate flag? I mean, what's the vibe in Texas, yours and most people, with the Confederate flag?
Well, it's part of the heritage. Like the Civil War. There were 620,000 American lives lost in that war, and so it doesn't matter. I think it's pretty ignorant, some of the comments that people make. They think that the people in the South were the only ones that were slave owners. Do you think there was any slaves up in the North? you know, it's just, and I think people have to realize that, like, no matter what side of the fence you're on the Civil War, they're still all Americans. 100% of the people that died in that war were American citizens, so you have to give it respect. You know, it all led us to here, and these people laid down their lives for what they believed in, and it wasn't just about slavery. It was about a lot of other stuff. And, you know, the thing that gets me is, like, you know, 600 yards from my house, there's a Confederate war cemetery. And, like, you know, every 4th of July, there'll be, like, all the mostly Confederate soldiers that die, and they're just kids. You can see they're all, like, 17, 18, 19 years old. And so,
Wow.
And they died for fighting for the Confederacy, and it's like you're going to go, like, sit on the grave because you didn't agree with it because of where you live regionally. You know, you have to, you know, I think people need to, like, realize that, like, someone needs to bring this country together and start making people patriots again, or you stick up for your country no matter what.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, you have to stick up for the home team no matter, you know, everybody's going to have a different opinions on something somewhere down the line, but, you know, don't persecute people for their beliefs, you know.
You know, we have I've got the...
that's about as preachy as I'm going to get, so.
No, that's good, though, because, I mean, obviously it's different in the South than it is, and, you know, the media is... I tend to believe you, with what you said, that the guy's just an isolated nutcase that goes and shoots up a church, and everybody's bringing in a lot of stuff. But I wanted to tell you, here's something that's, I guess, kind of funny. Sorry, Jesse, go ahead.
We should ban lawn darts. That's the real problem.
Lawn darts.
Right. You know, there's a picture that I posted on. You can go to the Poor Man Radio Show Facebook page, and it's got a picture of a girl, a smoking hot chick in a bikini with a boat behind her, and she's wearing a Confederate flag bikini, Jesse, and it says, "That flag is offensive. Take it off now."
Oh, God.
And that thing has just gone viral.
Yeah. Well, it's, like, so funny, like, they attacked the Dukes of Hazzard and stuff like that. There was nothing on that show that was racist, you know? Like, you know, I don't know.
And even if you look at the flag as a racist symbol, it doesn't change racism once you take it down. It's kind of like that saying, guns don't kill people, people kill people. The flag, up or down, it doesn't change anything. The only one who has control are us, the people.
Yeah, you know, it's a state of mind. It's not an object. You know, it's
right.
It's like looking at the swastika. You know, for 500 years before the Third Reich, you know, that was like a friendship symbol and Egyptian symbol and stuff like that. And then, like, one people categorized it and made it terrible. And I think it's like, you know, people see a thing and it makes them feel so much rage. It's kind of why, like, bikers and Hells Angels in the, like, 60s, you know, they put that stuff all over because it pissed, just the mere sight of it, like, pissed people off, you know, which I totally dig. It's kind of like being a punk rocker, you know, you're going to have purple hair and a safety pin in your ear because that's going to make that kind of, you know, McCarthy era guys just, you know, steam out of their ears, you know, that's what it's for. And I think, like, you know, but I don't think the Confederate flag is, it's, you know, it's part of our country, you know, it's red, white, and blue, and it's stars and stripes. So.
And it's history.
Yeah.
By the way, we've got this one of my biggest fans, Brett from Sacramento, who listens to every show. He's actually got a blog dedicated totally to the Poor Man Show. He said,
"Look at you, man."
Right, he's hard on me too, man. These guys criticize every breath I take on this show. There's two blogs. There's the Uncensored Poor Man Show on Kcaa blog. That's run by Todd, and he's brutal. And then Brett is a little bit more subtle, but he says, great interview, and Jesse is hit the right points. Thanks for supporting us firearms owners. He's a fireman, by the way, for the state of California. Hey, I wanted to ask you, Jesse, can you hang on and do one more segment with me?
Yeah, man. I'm done for the day. I started at 6, so I can go as long as you want.
Lovely.
Okay, fantastic. And we got Jesse James, with us. Jesse, who is, all right, are you ready for this? Southern California radio. He was a fan of mine, and that's why he's on the show, okay? So, Fred, the owner of KCAA, I will expect a bonus for getting Jesse James on here, and we'll be back with him. We'll also take some calls. If you guys want to call in and talk to Jesse James, the phone number is 888-909-1050, 888-909-1050. I imagine Jesse will be open for any kind of question.
Thank God it was 714 when I lived there, because I'll never be a 909er.
That's right. He went to Riverside City College and played for the football team also. He sent me a picture of that. But so that's the phone number, 888-909-1050, or you can text me on my cell phone. I'll read some texts to Jesse, 949-870-6155. And Jesse, before we go to the break, just real quickly, I want you to think of the craziest thing that you've ever done, because you've done some crazy stuff, and I want to find out what that is when we come back, okay?
All right, cool.
Are you starting a business, have a business, but need to help ensure it's operating compliant with the law? Do you have business contracts with other parties that need to be reviewed to ensure they're protected and you avoid costly litigation? At the law offices of Michael W. Brown, we specialize in providing legal advice to businesses to ensure they succeed. Our firm can help you select the correct business structure, such as a corporation, LLC, or partnership. If your business needs a contract prepared or reviewed, we can help. The law offices of Michael W. Brown has over 20 years' experience providing practical and cost-effective legal advice to small, medium, and large businesses.
I'm Michael Brown, and my firm has helped our clients get their businesses off to the right start, grow, and be successful. We represent businesses of all sizes, large, medium, small, and even the individual. Our firm has experience in a variety of industries, including medical and healthcare, manufacturing, distribution, and telecommunications, and I know I can help your business as well.
Now you can have your own legal department for your business, ready when you are at a fraction of the cost. Initial consultations are always free. Call us at 949-636-8128 or visit us at mwb-law.net. Leather doesn't have to be expensive. Not when it comes from Lucerne Lapidary and Leather in the Lucerne Valley. Who doesn't like leather? Get leather belts, wallets, gun belts, holsters, rifle scabbards, and original design handmade saddles. But that's not all. There's jewelry, custom design, custom cutting, shaping, engraving, polishing, repair, and more. Even classes in jewelry design. Come see it for yourself in the high desert. Lucerne Lapidary and Leather. 32776 Old Woman Spring Road in the Lucerne Valley. Call 760-885-7777. That's 760-885-7777. As heard on Little Steven's Underground Garage, it's the straight-ahead rock of LA's own, the 4019. Rock and roll like it was meant to be played. Get the music at the4019s.com. Spell it, the4019s.com. See them live Friday, July 24th, along with Berlin at Monte d'Oro Winery in Temecula. Go to the4019s.com and have yourself one hell of a good time.
Have a good time.
All right, so we're at the New York City Gay Pride Festival, and you just gave me a paddle that says "Spank Someone Happy."
That's correct.
And you're handing these out.
We are, yes. We're from the Pleasure Chest, which is on 7th Avenue, one of the oldest sex shops in Manhattan.
They have one in Hollywood, too, I think, don't they?
Yes, they do. That's correct.
I visited that one.
Oh, cool. Super cool.
And these are, what do you do with these paddles?
Well, you're supposed to spank someone. I mean, with their permission, of course.
Oh, okay.
Or get spanked.
You want to spank me? Maybe we can recreate the sound here.
Right?
I need a good spanking. Hold on. Let me just hold my my little sound device here so you can hear it.
It's all on the wrist. There you go.
Go ahead and hit those two together just so, people can hear how this is. That was pretty weak. I didn't feel anything.
Uh-oh.
And that's from yesterday at the New York City Gay Pride Parade. I was out there. Now gay marriage is legal in all 50 states. And it was pretty fun to attend that. It was pretty packed, millions of people, gay, lesbian, transgender, and also a lot of heterosexual people out there supporting the cause as well. And there's a few interviews that if we don't get to them today, I'll get to them tomorrow. I think I asked some people if the next thing is marriage between an animal and a human. And I don't care who gets married to anybody. And so we got Jesse James is on with us. And Jesse, you are actually related to the criminal Jesse James, right?
Yeah, I think so. Somewhere back there.
Yeah.
So is my partner Di.
Yeah, supposedly someone did a tree a long time ago and said I was related to the real Jesse James, and so and I've heard that you were too. So
we could be kitchen cousins.
We could be.
Hey, Jesse. So have you thought of the craziest thing that's ever happened to you?
Besides like full tabloid nuclear war type of stuff.
Huh?
I don't know. Well, you're out in the IE, so let's talk about something in Riverside. I don't know.
You should tell everybody the story about Harry C's. I used to do gigs out there, and then you told me that story. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, that one's pretty good. Well, I got arrested a couple times, few in Riverside for like stealing stuff and fighting and malicious mischief and assault and just little stuff, stealing cars.
Yeah.
But
stealing cars?
Yeah, there's like, Quaid Imports used to have this they used to have the new Camaros, and they had this little stupid chain on the lot, and so you could step on it and break it, and we could steal IROC in a minute.
Really? How many cars do you think you stole?
I don't know. Not that many.
Come on, give it up, buddy.
But anyway, so I got arrested one time, and I was at the booking downtown at the booking department, or I was sitting on a booking bench, which is like a 6-inch bench that's hangs off the wall, and I'm handcuffed behind me, and your ass barely fits on it, so you're kind of pressing against the wall, and you can't move. And the cops that arrested us they were total dicks. The one, it was the big muscle cop with the super tight uniform and a mustache and full custom hairspray blow dried hair that went straight back. And then he had the little 1/6 scale version of him was his partner. And the guy was kept asking me, why did you do that? And I didn't say anything. And I'm not gonna he's all trying to get me to say something. He's why? What the hell's your problem? Why did you do that? And I didn't say anything. And the guy, he just went, pow, reared back and uppercutted me right in the mouth.
Were you in handcuffs?
Yeah, and I was 17 at the time, so I was 6'2" and about 225, 230. And it kind of rung my bell, but I was spitting blood and busting my lips open and stuff. I'm that's cool, whatever. And then, exactly 6 months later, me and my friends were driving to the river, and we're let's stop by Harry C's and have a beer. All right, cool. And so
I wonder if I was hosting that night.
No, this was probably 1986.
Possible. I mean, that might have been a little earlier, but yeah. So what happened?
It was some lame ass dance night. If these cops were there, nobody cool was there. So I walked in the door, and here's the big custom cop on the dance floor with a man blouse on, dancing with the girl. And so I just walked up beside him, out of his peripheral vision, and popped him right as hard as I could, right in the ear hole, and knocked him out right on the dance floor. And then we bailed out of there, and woo, 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 woo. Cops were passing us as we were leaving. His partner saw and called, and we were gone. We were in a different state an hour later. But that's the old saying, what comes around goes around. You want to punch some 17-year-old kid on a booking bench, then guess what? He's going to come back and knock your ass out.
Well, and you're sure it was the same guy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%. My friends saw him. They were at Harry C's and saw him a week later, and he had a big old black bruise on the side of his face. And he was sitting at the bar, describing to someone what happened. They could see him pantomiming it, and
How funny.
And he had no idea it was you.
No, he never saw it coming.
And they never caught you after that.
I gave him the exact same opportunity to defend himself that he gave me.
And they never caught you.
Nope, he didn't see it. He doesn't have any witnesses. He doesn't know who hit him.
But his friend, who was also a cop, saw you, and they just couldn't find you.
He was in a nightclub drinking. I don't think that's valid testimony.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a good text here.
And then they're probably friends with the owner, Harry Seed, and I was underage in there with the fake ID.
Oh, wow. Wow. Just a rebel.
They might have a little problem there.
There you go. We're talking to Jesse James he's in Austin, Texas, telling us stories of growing up in SoCal. Somebody texted me. If you want to text me questions for Jesse, 949-870-6155. Jesse will personally tell you that really is my personal cell phone. I guess I'm not going to be giving out yours, am I, Jesse?
No, please no.
Otherwise, the next time he sees me, I'll get cracked on the side of the head.
Yeah.
But okay, but we got a question here. And also, you guys can call in if you have questions as well on the request lines, 888-909-1050 at the station, 888-909-1050. Somebody wants to know, based on your Celebrity Apprentice experience, I didn't know you were on Celebrity Apprentice. Do you feel that Donald Trump would make a good president, and why? Were you on Celebrity Apprentice?
Yeah, in 2009 with Dennis Rodman. I almost won, man. I podiumed, third place.
Wow. Did you hear he's been kicked off Celebrity Apprentice today, like an hour before you came on?
I just talked to him right before I got on the phone with you.
Really?
No way. Are you serious?
Nice work on telling NBC to go to hell, because everything's become too politically correct, and he tells it like it is. Hey, I'm from Southern California, where white people are the minority with immigrants, but and I really don't. I've employed non-legal people and stuff like that, and they're hard workers. But the thing that I have a problem with is everybody come to this country, but you know what? Stand right side by side with me on tax day and pay your fair share.
Mm-hmm.
And it's reaching a point of critical mass. Where hey, we don't pay enough taxes to support this many people.
Did you really talk to Don? Sorry to interrupt you. Did you really talk to Donald Trump right before you came on with me?
Yes, sir. Sent him a message and said, "Hey, nice work." And he's all, "Thanks, Jesse. You're the best."
Really? Did you guys text each other?
Yeah.
But he answered you right away, huh?
Yep. Yeah, me and Donald Trump Jr. are good friends. We've been friends since I was on the show, and he's cool. He's a gun enthusiast and a hunter and all that stuff. So.
Wow. What do you think? So you think, I feel the way you do. It's like you can't, if you're on the...
Hey, you know what? Here's the bottom line, Look, we got this guy that's the president now that's like the cool guy that's going to be playing saxophone on Arsenio Hall like Clinton, and I'm going to say all the cool stuff and I'll be cool on Facebook. And you know what? He totally sucks. And this country's a business. I don't want someone that's going to be everybody's friend. I don't want someone, I don't care if they're likable. If I'm hiring a CEO of the United States, I want someone that's going to kick ass, and someone that's going to restore, our economy, restore our patriotism, and be a leader, and being a leader is about making the bad decisions. It's not like posturing and doing photo ops and stuff to make yourself look good. No, it's about making yourself look bad to make things right. And I think, between Donald Trump and Rick Perry, I think they're the only two dudes that got the chops to do it, because it's going to be tough, man. Whoever goes up against Hillary she's a total witch. And they got an uphill battle to try to spar with her,
Jesse, what's the general consensus of gay pride rights down in the South? And
what do you
yourself?
think about the whole gay marriage being legal?
Austin's like a little bubble. There's some religious fundamentalist stuff that I've read in the paper and stuff, and they're like, we're going to stand our ground, and it's man, it's it's we got better stuff to worry about. two dudes are getting married, you know. I don't care. You know, you know, I think it's such a blown apart, like, everybody's making such a big deal about it that years ago I said, man, it's got to be economical. You know, it's got to be economics that's making people dig in and fight so hard. And I think it is. I think then just maybe in big insurance companies not wanting to add the extra benefits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But,
and that is what it is about for a lot of the gay people. I mean,
yeah, you know, like, hey, you know, I have an uncle that's gay, and my older brother was gay and died of AIDS. And I didn't
dude.
I didn't look at him any different than anybody else. You know, it's part of life in Long Beach. You know, Long Beach.
Wow.
Is
like he died of AIDS, your brother.
Yeah, you know, and it's like you know, I don't really care what people's. You know, I think we have to stop caring about people's personal lives, and that stuff should be their personal lives. You know.
Hey, we're talking to Jesse James. Hey, we got Brett from Sacramento, the guy who's stoked. He's a gun owner, and he probably thinks this is my greatest show ever, Jesse James, since I had you on today. Brett, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, you're on with Jesse James.
Thank you. I just had a question and a comment. Jesse, I remember some of the older shows, West Coast Choppers. Are you planning any more chopper or gun TV shows coming out? And I also want to thank you for supporting us firearm owners, man. We need more people support.
Hey, no problem, man. You know, there's lots of TV hovering around right now, and lots of offers being made for stuff, but I really am like kind of dug in, and I don't want to do stupid reality show. You know, I don't want to do fake, phony stuff. And like until TV kind of reverts back to doing quality stuff and teaching people things, then I'm just going to hold off. You know. I have my own production company and have a great woman that runs it and all that stuff. And we're actually working on some shows that'll probably only air in Europe because that's, you know, we do a lot of business there and we have an office in Amsterdam. So, you know,
one other question for you. One other question: Are you doing any of the wild hog hunting out there? I know it's a major billion-dollar problem in Texas. Are you involved with that at all?
Oh, dude. So my son and I, when we first moved here, I have some state trooper friends that have a lease out by where I live. And so we're like, oh, we're in Texas now. Let's go hog hunting. But two of my three daughters are full PETA vegetarians. And like, they got wind of it. They got wind of it and started like crying. It's like I murdered.
Oh, no.
And then I'm like, some things you just can't argue with. That was a no win. I just had to I'm not a hunter, man. I'm from California, so I'm not like, there's not a lot of hunting in South Central LA and you know. So.
There's hunting at the bars.
Thank you for taking my call. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Hey, thanks, Brett. Hey, bye, Jesse, what do you think about Caitlyn Jenner?
Well, I think it's like, you know, he's obviously locked into that whole Kardashian getting attention, you know, playing the media, and he got paid big money to do that. You know, he didn't come out because he wanted to make a statement for other transgender people. He came out because he got a shitload of money for it.
Yeah.
You know, and like I think it kind of, you know. I know transgender people. I have a really good friend that's a transgender man to woman, and like, I don't, you know, it's just a weird world we live in, man, where people, I feel like it's fame to them is like, you know, it's like candy. They just want to eat it, no matter if it's good or bad, and you know, it's like, I feel bad for his kids, you know, that have to live in the wake of all that. I mean, I think, he's born like that, and he should be whatever he is, but, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, it's strange.
He should do it the hard way, like every other transgender person, and have to fit in society and not make a spectacle of it, and not draw attention to themselves, and have to fill out a job application, and have to work and pay bills and all that stuff. That's what he should do, because that's the hard way. Doing it the way he is and using his fame to make a big deal, that's the easy way. You know,
Yeah, we had a
'cause
guy
there's
call the show about a week and a half ago. Said he's getting $500,000 per half-hour speaking appearance.
Yep. There you go.
Hey Jesse, can you hold on? We got one more commercial break, and then our show's about to be over, and we'll say goodbye to you,
Yeah,
or we can say goodbye now, and whatever you want to hang on, or you got to go. And
Is there any calls from Riverside?
do we have any calls from Riverside right now, Di?
We don't.
All right, well, let's take a break and see if we can get one. So somebody call from Riverside where Jesse actually lives. We got Jesse James. The phone number is 888-909-1050, or for anywhere in the IE for that matter, but Riverside would be great. 888-909-1050, and we'll come right back for our final moments. Yeah, this is like, actually, it's one ambulance that can't get through about 1,000 people, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's like the third or fourth one I'm seeing drive by, actually. Every parade's like this, though, throughout New York.
It's New York. You hear this all day long.
Too many men are wimps.
Linda Gross loves men. Bet that got your attention. Linda is a men's advocate who has helped many men get their balls back. And she can help you. Her proven coaching techniques will skyrocket your confidence and boost you into action in 4 sessions or less. Stop being stupid with girls, in business, or dump a lifelong problem. Go to themensadvocate.com or email Linda info@themensadvocate.com. Mention the Poor Man Show and get 15 minutes free. Also, pick up Linda's book, Mastering Women, on Amazon. Get the straight talk from the woman who knows. When I say Wave Tools, you think surfboards, right? But not just any surfboards. We're talking boards that just work better. Since Lance Collins polished off his first surfboard in 1969, Wave Tools has been cranking out the best boards money can buy for all of SoCal and beyond. Come check out what a real surf shop is all about. Real surfers hanging out any time of day at Wave Tools Surfboards. Customize that new board with a look that screams you. Wave Tools Surfboard in Costa Mesa. Go to wavetoolssurf.com or call 949-631-0887. The crew is ready to assist you. 949-631-0887. This may come as a surprise, but Beatles-orama is in its 15th year of keeping the Beatles alive for a new generation. If you spent any time in the 60s, or if you're smart enough to know it was the coolest era for music, you're going to love us. Just go to BeatlesOrama.com and the player should start right up. We're also available on TuneIn, iTunes, Windows Media, and more. Once you tune in, you'll be hooked. Plus, you can join our Facebook fan club and follow us on Twitter. Be sure to bookmark it. BeatlesOrama.com.
We are back here, our final segment with Jesse James. And Jesse, we have a caller from Riverside that wants to talk to you.
Like magic.
Amazing. It's Wade from Riverside. Wade, are you there? Hello.
Wade? Are you there, Wade? Hello? Okay, gosh, great.
Wade hung up?
I don't think he hung up. I'm not sure what happened. He.
All right, Wade, call back. We have 1 minute left in the show. But I did get a text also from Riverside. Let's see here. Somebody wants to know. Okay, Wade, in case you forgot the number, you have short-term memory like the poor man. It's 888-909-1050.
Is this Wade? See, someone keeps calling and hanging up.
Okay. All right, Jesse, did you know Bradley Noel when you were at Milliken High?
Yeah, so the guy Bruce that built all the motors at West Coast Choppers for like 20 years, he lived in a triplex that he owned, and the kids that lived in the back house were Bradley, Bud, and Jerry for years. But they were like younger than me, so I don't want to hang out with any younger kid. They're like weed smoker reggae kids. But then once they started getting really famous, then they started buying bikes and parts for me. So I'm like, all right, cool, man. I like Sublime.
How funny.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, the show's pretty much over with. I think how much more time do we have?
We really don't have any, but we do have, ironically, two phone calls coming in. So
now we have 2 phone calls. Can we stretch it, or are we going to get in trouble with the next show?
Let's try it.
All right.
KCAA. Hello?
Hello.
It's Wade. I was just calling back in.
Okay, Wade. Perfect.
Go ahead, Wade. You're on with Jesse James.
Hey, Jesse. I'm going to make this quick because I know the show's ending soon, but I've just been a great fan of yours, watching you from biker build off and on. I was wondering, are you still doing off-road racing?
I'm trying to, man, but like my wife, I work on my wife's race car at all the NHRA races, and so like I blast during the week in my shop, and then I worked on her car Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it doesn't leave, and she has 24 races a year, and she's like a real race car driver where I'm just pretend. So
always pretend, but I'm heavily into off-road, and I saw one of your trucks over at like the off-road expo a few years ago. And
yeah, my truck's all done and ready and still sitting out at Geysers. I just need time. It's more important to work on my wife's race car than race mine, so because she kicks ass. So.
All right, Wade, thanks for calling. We've got to go.
Jesse, thanks so much for being my guest.
Bye,
You're awesome, dude.
Cool. See you guys.
You're on board KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Here's the latest. I'm Joe McConnell. People in upstate New York are breathing a sigh of relief now that the manhunt for two escaped killers is over.